Okay.
Hey, my name is Jordan Horowitz. I'm the writer-director of the film Painless.
And okay, so we were just talking now. So you're talking about the main character, and he doesn't feel pain.
Right.
And one of the questions I had was, he didn't feel hot and cold, but he could feel other things?
Yeah, so the condition that Henry has, the major symptom is he can't feel any physical pain at all. But some smaller symptoms are he can't distinguish extremely hot or cold temperatures. So he does quirky things in the film, like you'll see him put ice in his food or his hot beverage to make sure he doesn't burn himself. He checks the temperature when he takes a bath to make sure that the water is an appropriate temperature, because he wouldn't know. There's a scene early in the movie where he's a child and he actually sticks his hand in boiling water, and that's actually based on something I read about a child who had this condition who did something very similar, and the mother was just in complete shock that a child would do that because they didn't know better.
So, but he could. I mean, if you touch him, he feels that.
He feels pleasure. He feels touch. You can tickle him. If you did something violent to him, he would feel the pressure of it. But it's a specific synapse in the nerve is broken. It doesn't fire that one sensation that triggers actual pain. What your brain says is, "Ow, that hurts. I need to stop that." He just doesn't have that, and it's a real medical condition, and it's very serious because people with this condition don't know if they could be people. Some people think they're a superhero. Oh, you can't feel pain, you're invincible. But actually, it's the opposite, because you could be in a serious situation and not know it, and you don't know how to protect yourself.
Particularly if it's internal injuries.
Exactly. I've heard stories about people walking around and their appendix burst, and they weren't able to perceive the warning symptoms. A normal person would have a lot of pain, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's a serious condition, and in order to be able to deal with that condition, he's become a very overly cautious person, and as a result of that, he's become a very alienated and isolated person.
I could smell that room just with all those mice.
Oh yeah, thank you. I'm glad. His apartment is a very specific room. It's actually a set that we built, and what you just said is perfect. We wanted it to be like a visceral thing where you felt like you were in that room and like you understood it, that world. So yeah, it's great.
And how did you get on this idea for this film?
I like weird projects about weird people. That's kind of a thing. But I also, I was living in New York, and I was trying to write a movie about like a lonely, alienated person. And I'd read about these kids who had the condition and how serious it was. And I began to think like, oh, well, for an adult to have survived with this condition, he'd be very cautious. He'd always be checking himself for injuries. And I'm like, and he'd probably be afraid of like doing too much outside activity with people. And it just brought me to this idea of this. It connected with the ideas I was trying to explore about urban alienation and loneliness. I just thought like there was a time where I was writing it, and I'm like, I feel like I was writing about the loneliest person in the world. And that's kind of, I kept trying to push that idea.
Did you meet anybody with this condition?
No, I did do some research on some children that had it, but I've never met adults, and I didn't really want to. I wanted to just I wanted it to be something for my imagination, so I didn't want to taint that. But no, I did. I just researched some kids that had it.
Well, it was a very intense movie, and I keep thinking about it.
Oh, good. That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, that is a good. I sort of walked out and I wasn't sure, but then the next day it was in my head.
Good. Yeah, that's the best there is, right? I mean, so many movies you see, and like before you've even left the theater, it's like just completely gone, and I hate that.
Now this one's there.
Yeah.
So when is it playing and where?
It's playing at It's playing on Friday at 7:30 p.m. at the Alaska Experience Theater in the large room.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.